Hey guys, what's up? I'm here to give you guys a recap on a new episode of Jujutsu Kaisen, which is on episode 13, or you can call it Sorcery Fight on episode 13. Anyways, this episode right here was actually really nice, and we get to know a little bit about Nanami in this episode, which I think it might be best to get out of the way, but I'll do it in a proper order that's more fitting. Anyways, also, Merry Christmas to everybody, unless Christmas is already passed with you, depending what time zone you're at. Anyways, just Merry Christmas from where I'm at, as a way to say, yeah. Anyways, let's just get this started right away. We have to it that Nanami and Itadori Yuji ends up having to work together to fight against freaking like a Mahito, or the Frankenstein curse. Well, Frankenstein curse, I give him the nickname because too many scars and he looks like Frankenstein. Forgive me for making a pathetic nickname like that or something, but we have to it that Mahito ends up sending some small human transfigurines to Yuji to keep him occupied, and Yuji later on makes a choice what to do with the kids that attacked him, that are transfigured. I guess he ended up killing them, and we have to it that Itadori, Yuji, and Nanami seems to get him in a corner. But unfortunately, that managed to push Mahito to actually activate his domain expansion, which is called self-embodiment of perfection. Then we get to know a backstory about Nanami maybe having his life flashing before his eyes. It looks like he's that kind of guy who would rather work enough money until he reaches 30 or 40, then he can live off somewhere else in a low rented area or a low cost area, His life was never that exciting until he ends up seeing some kind of curse that's always on this woman, Eventually, he will later on get rid of it, and by that time, we get to know, Nanami didn't really want to be part of this Jujutsu sorcerer thing because of what it does, But eventually, after going through some parts of his life, I guess he changed his mind and calls Gojo Sato, which is our Infinity Man, to, ask for some help, And by that time, we get to see a scene where, Itadori Yuji somehow managed to break in. On the outside, it's really easy to break through, but the inside is really hard to escape in, which is why it's called domain expansion and why usually you are guaranteed to win, I mean, we've seen this, with this curse, with the volcanic curse that went against Gojo Sato, but Gojo Sato is freaking infinity, man. You can't beat that at all. Not much is considered. But we get to see that Sukuna ends up having to harm Mahito by saying, "Hey, you just entered my soul again. I told you before, if you freaking do this again, there won't be a second time I'm gonna let you go." And then he made true of his very word. He waves his fingers, ends up injuring Mahito to a point where that Mahito can't maintain his domain expansion. Itadori Yuji ends up trying to take advantage of this, and Mahito ends up using a big transfiguration technique and manages to escape after Itadori Yuji leaves a devastating blow, a punch on him, which never did much, and Mahito said, "Hey, let's play again," and ends up escaping. We get to see that Mahito is so funny, is laughing at this point because Sukuna is literally called the King of Curses for a reason. And the fact is the fact that if he's alive and he's gonna get revived, that doesn't matter, as freaking Mahito understands. But let's be honest, I mean, we get to know Sukuna says he doesn't care if Mahito dies or something, and then he only cares for one guy, which is Fujiro, Fujiro, the freaking Fushiguro. I don't know why I call him Fujiro. Fushiguro. Sukuna seems to have an interest in Fushiguro or something and says, "You know what? Let's do it this way. I don't care about anyone else, but that guy seems to be interesting, etc." Then we get to see, like I said, Mahito being in glee about how strong Sukuna is and says, as long as that guy gets revived, the King of Curses or the curses will not fade away and the era will start soon enough, that kind of thing. We have to it that Nanami ends up talking to Itadori Yuji and console him about what a proper death is. But he does tell Itadori Yuji, keep walking ahead, okay? No matter what. You're a Jujutsu sorcerer now. I suggest you keep going, that kind of thing. Although Yuji seems to have some hesitation about having to kill people when they're in human transfiguration and even asked if they ever had a proper death. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, Yuji seems to be hesitant about what he did right now, especially the path he's on. But apparently he's not going to stop, which is a good thing. I mean, what he started, he has to see to it to the end. And we get to see a scene about a teacher and a bully who apparently was that freaking disgusting predator that's always onto freaking like whatchamacallit, Junpei, you know, which we all know that he died last episode, etc. The teacher ends up having to lecture the student and says, we're going to talk about your crimes. I could care less about your injuries right now because that's not what's important. So I'm going to keep my eye on you. You hear me? And we get to know that there's this girl, I believe, like, that might have snitched out on him or maybe something else involved, you know? Because she knows, like, something might have happened to Junpei or something and that she didn't do anything about it because she wasn't brave enough. Whatever the case may be, she pretty much, like, possibly said something about what happened here and there, you know. But whatever the student has done or something, at least she tried to help out for the time being, even after Junpei is really gone. The normal people who can't see curses or something are pretty much oblivious or very ignorant to what happened to Junpei for real. They say that he moved away, but truth is he's really dead. Then we get to see a scene, like I said, Yuji will continue this path and will not lose anymore until he kills Mahito. Until he understands what is a proper death, he has to find out, you know? And like I said, Nanami ends up making a speech to Yuji about, like, good and evil people, you know? I don't know if that is the right label, but whatever the case may be. Preview we get to see a after credit scene with Fushiguro having to make meatballs that Itadori Yuji taught him, and Itadori Yuji is really excited to see him again, you know? Preview next episode looks like to me we're about to, like, it's called Kyoto Sister School Exchange Event Group Battle 0. But apparently I did some research, apparently from discussions here and there. They say, like, we won't be getting a new episode, like, next week, so we'll be getting a new episode on January 15th, you know, which is almost the start, which is, like, this pretty much the second week of Winter Season Anime 2021, which I really hope 2021 becomes better, but whatever the case may be, we'll have to find out later on down the road, you know? So, pretty much not too bad of an episode. I mean, like, it's nice to see, like, how Sukuna is really strong, you know? I mean, the way how he managed to, like, cut Mahito and make him, like, use up his domain expansion no more, that was pretty slick. And, of course, Itadori Yuji, it looks like to me he was lost after what he did, but he's going to keep going forward until he kills Mahito or the Frankenstein curse, you know? And Mahito seemed to like the guy as a nasty antagonist or villain right now for the time being. I mean, like, if there's someone better, there's always someone better. But Sukuna, he's an antagonist too, but we have yet to see him in full action. I mean, he's not at his full power yet, but even if he is, he can't defeat Gojo Sato from what I understand or what was said in this episode. So, yeah. Lucky for me, I get to see Infinity Guy still around, and hopefully he does still stay around. And even if he gets sealed away, I mean, hopefully we don't see him, like, go off screen for too long. But we'll have to see. So until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Hopefully, whatever comes your way, you know? Peace out. Bye-bye. Ta-da!